Hi, Laura. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How are you?
Feeling really, I'm not sure what I'm going to say about the website, except that we,
Okay.
we
Do you
met
want
with,
me do
no,
you want me
no,
to take it since I've talked to Ken?
no, no, that's okay. I'll mention that you talked to Ken. Thank you. I'll say
Okay.
that you spoke to Ken about the possibility of using their website. And there's really not much more to say about that until we're exploring that possibility.
And I
It
think
could,
the
it
other
could be
part,
up and, it could be up and running in 6 weeks.
yeah, and that we would like and that we're in contact with him to see if he might be able to come to a meeting in February
Okay.
to present. Um, and so the
To our next meeting, the February 9th, or whatever the
he
date is.
we don't know if he can come then. He was going to check, but the $150 part, we can until I think we know what website we're going with. We will resolve that once we make a decision about which website we're going with, because obviously if we go with a private website, we'll settle up on the maintenance and also go forward with more maintenance training support charges. If we decide to go with the OANC website, then we can settle up on that part. So we don't need to pay the 150 right now, Denise said.
I don't know if we even need to talk about
Mention
it.
it. Yeah, if it comes up, then that's the where we would go. And I think I owe you an apology. Do you have a Google doc open?
No,
If I send you a document, hold on, would you prefer it by email or,
probably.
okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
send it to you right now. Give me just 2 seconds. Um, yeah, um, and then we'll go. Okay. So
Okay. What are you sending me?
I am sending you, what I typed up for,
Oh, from about him, about the website?
yeah, because, and I may have gotten confused on this. I'm sorry, it's just been a lot. So
No, I know
I
you have
think
a lot.
I think Bruce is ready to go with it, but it might be better if we stick with it because you have it's on the agenda for you to do it.
Bruce
But
is ready to go with what?
hold on, that this is what,
Okay, that's
yeah,
what we're gonna find out. Okay.
give me 1 second. I mean, I have been
No, no,
so
no, no,
so
don't
much.
worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. All right, here you go. There it
Okay,
is. There
oh,
it
you
is.
said you sent it to, there it is. Okay, got it.
Okay, you got it. So if you have a look at it, it gives the language of the motion that Denise
Oh,
said would
oh,
make
I
it an
see.
appropriate motion to pass and then be reconciled with the QFR with Dawn. Because we went through and found where it was posted in the minutes from 2024 that authorized it and made it all hunky dory. That's what we worked on this afternoon, was trying to,
Bruce knows about this or not?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
why don't we let him do it?
If that's fine, and then you can, when we just
Because,
amend the
yeah, because,
agenda, if you
yeah,
want to say, I'll defer to Bruce to take that part, or you can do it at the moment, in the
I
moment
don't
of,
think we have to amend the agenda. I just hand it over to him and say,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, so Bruce is gonna take the payment part, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to talk about the part where it says Finney, you can, and you can relay that, or you can ask me if I want to talk about it, or, it just kind of gives some of the features that Ken mentioned today that make it worth considering, especially since it's available in a short time frame. It might be worth a look
Um,
because it would save you a ton of work for input and might offer us what we want without future costs as well. I mean, we'd have to look at it and see, but it's definitely intriguing. I don't know if it's what we
and
want, but it's definitely worth a look.
I'm reading the last bit of it right now to
Mhm.
see. Um, you're welcome to talk about this since you talked about it with him. Maybe next time you let me join that conversation. If you would, I'd appreciate
Yeah, I did ask them. I was like, hey, we've got these other two commissioners, one's doing it with that, and they responded back and like, let's see what we have in this conversation and then see if we get to it. I thought we were just going to be talking about the language of the motion and making sure that that was all clean, but we
Mhm.
kind of digressed into that.
Okay,
But yeah, I'm
that's,
sorry. It just
that's okay. That's
it's
okay.
nice to
It's
have
not a big
friendly
deal.
face. Okay.
Not a big deal. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay. Uh-huh.
All right. I was printing this out anyway, so I have it in front of me, but we'll split it up.
Okay.
All right. I gotta go get my version on the printer.
We have anybody else coming?
I'm sure everyone's coming.
I mean, it's
You know
just kind
what?
of late.
It is kind of late. Where are they? Why isn't this printing? Well, that's irritating. Um,
Okay. I don't think we have any testimonies, so I think we will skip that. So that's a draft agenda item that is going to be off.
hmm.
Well, okay. And
Okay, so
if not, we can scoot that closer. Um, and then, yeah, okay.
is it really just you and me right now? Where's everyone else?
I don't know. Where are they? Okay.
Are there two links somehow?
I don't think so.
Let me let me find out where Bruce is. Let's start with him. Uh,
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Peter says, would I admit him?
oh,
I didn't think he
it's
needed to be admitted. Okay.
somehow it's set up that way, probably. There we go.
Okay.
There's Peter. Hi, Peter.
Okay. I'm gonna make Peter had said he would do the admit here, so I'm gonna make him the co-host. And
Moment of
then
chat.
you were
I was
going to let me know if you saw questions in the chat, Liz,
Yeah.
that I
Yep.
needed to do that.
Right. I will do
Okay.
that.
Okay. So Peter is co-host so that he can admit people. Okay. Awesome. And Carol is in.
Oh, there's Lisa. I see her.
Okay.
Okay, things are
All right. All right.
starting to happen.
Do we have Bruce? Hey, Lisa.
Hey,
How's your
hey.
feet?
They have done a fantastic job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still icy, but much better than it was earlier this morning and this
Oh,
afternoon.
good. Oh, good. Yeah. No, we've still got some that
like
are.
5 times. They went down it about 5 times.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Could I
We've
interrupt?
got.
Could I interrupt you just to ask one question?
Mm.
Because I hope Lisa will help me with sharing some documents, assuming we have a discussion about Go Vocal. Can you make her, at least at that point, a co-host?
Switch it over
Yeah,
because you
just,
were going to help with the
I
admits.
do
Yeah.
admissions, but I don't, I'm
Okay.
terrible. Um,
Okay.
um,
Gotcha.
yeah, Corinthia is having trouble getting in. She says she's sending me the website is down, I can't join.
I think I sent her the direct link to ask her to check her text and see if I sent her check the text to ask her to check a text because I sent her a link on her text. Straight from DC Gov to Zoom.
Okay.
What website is she trying to get on?
Corinthia
Maybe she's
texted, I'm
maybe-
not doing the meeting on my phone.
Maybe she's trying to join the go through the ANC website and then go on like that.
Hard to say.
So and
That
that
doing it that way.
and the ANC website is being kludgy, which is apropos of the conversation this evening.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Corinthia says the ANC website, the link I sent out to my constituents won't load.
Okay. Well,
She says
I-
she's on now, but she says
Okay.
she's okay.
yeah.
Not yet.
Hmm.
You on?
Someone else texted me to say I get an error when trying to navigate to the ANC 3G website.
Yeah.
Well, the links that were posted on social media were all broken. They didn't work at all. So
I'll send out
that's probably why we don't have but 6 people.
okay. Give me just a second and I will send everybody the same thing that I sent Corinthia just a little bit ago. SOP Bruce. Where is Bruce?
And then Laura, tell me when you want me to admit.
Okay, I'm just going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who am I forgetting? 1. Okay.
I don't see Bruce on this list.
I don't see him either. All right. So the link that I
I'm
is
gonna give
there.
him a call.
Way I can eat right now. Okay. I think we can go ahead and let people in. We'll just, we have what we have. And along with the snow.
Does somebody want to message Bruce?
She just did, Peter.
All right.
Oh, I think he's coming in.
Laura,
I was just in the waiting room.
A lot of people are texting me to say that they're having trouble getting in. It says the server is down.
Okay, try forwarding the link that I sent you. I think the ANC website is having some serious technical issues.
You sent
And so-
me a link?
I sent it to everybody. I just
Everybody?
sent,
Okay.
yeah.
She
It's-
texted.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
little blue square on my phone. I don't know what it looks like on your phone.
I know, that's a really good question. I'll find it. Thank you.
Okay, it should be the latest one. Okay. Do we need to have another minute or so for people to get on?
No, I think we should get started.
Okay.
We're at 7:05.
Okay. All right. Well, great. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I hope everybody is safe and heated and not completely sore from the snow. This has been an epic event and certainly a lot more than we would have hoped for. It is now 7:06, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is ANC 34G's regularly scheduled public meeting.
Laura, have you turned on record?
It should have been on before. Let me double check.
Yeah, I believe it is. It's already on, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because I put it on first. So I am Laura Finizzi, Chair of ANC 34G, and also Commissioner for SMD 04, which is bounded by Utah on the east, Broad Branch on the west, Western on the north, and McKinley on the south. We'll have other commissioner introductions, and then we'll go into our meeting. Starting from the left on my screen, Commissioner Gore.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisa Gore. I'm Commissioner for 34G01. Thank you for coming out tonight, and I hope that everyone is safe, got heat, no broken pipes, and is warm and has plenty of food to get you through the weekend. Thanks for coming tonight. My territory is basically all of Hawthorne and portions of Barnaby Woods, so I have the tributary on up to Beach, on up to Oregon, and back up to Western down to Pinehurst. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Goslin.
Yeah, my name's Peter Goslin. I'm the Commissioner for District 6, which is largely the west side of Connecticut, back to 42nd between Western and Military, with the peninsula to the east, where I've been doing a lot of shoveling, back to Nevada between Military and Legation. Welcome, and building on Lisa's comment, look at how low the temps are supposed to go tonight, and keep your faucets dripping.
Thank you. Commissioner Simmons.
Hi, Commissioner Simmons. I have the east side of Connecticut from Legation down to Western Avenue, backing up to Broad Branch, which borders Ward 3 and 4, and the Library and Community Center resides in my single member district.
Thank you. Commissioner Nagy.
Yeah, hi, good evening. I'm Liz Nagy. I'm Commissioner for 34G07, which is from Military down to Chevy Chase Parkway on the south, west to Reno Road, and east to Nevada. And thank you all for coming out. And I think everyone hopes that we're all warm and fed and safe.
Thank you. Commissioner Sherman.
Yeah, hi, Bruce Sherman. I am the Commissioner for Single Member District 02, which the simplest way to describe that is it is the territory that encompasses St. John's College High School, the Knollwood Retirement Community, and the new Barrett Fields Murray School has built on the property formerly owned by the Episcopal Center for Children. Welcome, everybody.
All right. Thank you. And Commissioner Grunewald.
Yes, hi. Last but not least, right? I'm Carol Grunwald. I'm Commissioner for SMD 03. And the boundaries of my SMD are Utah Avenue to the northeast, 27th Street to the east, Broad Branch to the south and to the west, McKinley on the north, then it jogs north and east along Nebraska where it joins Utah Avenue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So just before we get started, I would like to review some meeting procedures and norms. Except when you are recognized to speak, please keep your audio on mute. That'll help reduce background noise. Our meeting will follow the agenda and the times listed there with any modifications to the agenda in just a moment after we adopt the agenda. Please use the chat or raise hand function to ask questions or request to make a comment. Commissioner Nagy is going to help me be alerted to your request to make a question and call on you. We understand sometimes that issues provoke strong emotions. Please make sure that we do our best to remember that all of us here tonight wants what's best for our neck of the woods. Our opinion on that best may vary, but in our hearts, we're all kind of aiming in the same direction, and just try to remember these norms as best we can. Okay, so moving on, we have a review of the draft agenda. Are there any changes? Commissioner Goslin.
I believe that you are going to remove a BZA case, Laura. Is that correct?
Yes, we just need a very simple vote on a motion to postpone. The neighbors and applicant all are in agreement. And so it's going to be a super quick vote. 1 minute. You can have my time.
So we talked at the last meeting about taking up the Go Vocal renewal at this meeting. And I sent around a week ago the renewal documents, the whole contract, PDF presentation by Go Vocal and a link to an example of some of the good work that ANC 3D is doing. That didn't make it to the website. Although Go Vocal wants us to renew by February 5th, I don't know, given the fact it didn't make it to the website and the fact we've had this storm that all of us have been dealing with, whether commissioners want to take this up tonight. I feel very strongly we need to take this up soon, but I guess we could take it up at the 9th. Is this a discussion we want tonight, or we should put off to the 9th? And I will tell Go Vocal that we'll miss their deadline by a few days, which they'd like an answer. Our contract runs to February 23rd, but they would like an answer from us by February 5th. We do not have another meeting until February 9th. What are people's pleasure?
Add it tonight.
To have it tonight? I'm sorry.
Yes, that's what she said.
Okay. My vote would be to postpone, but I'm happy to do what the majority thinks of. Commissioner Gore, do you have a thought on that?
I don't have a preference.
Okay. How about Nagi?
I'd like to postpone it for the next meeting.
Okay. Commissioner Sherman?
I would also ask us to hold off. And with respect to putting it up at the website, Commissioner Goslin, I tried that several times and we have had difficulty with no service available indications coming up on the website, the same sorts of things that people in the community have had. So we would put that up then for the next meeting, surely, or otherwise distribute it to the community.
All right. Well, then I received.
I just want to check from Commissioner Grunewald. I'm sorry.
Yes, postpone, please.
Okay, it looks like then we've got 4 in favor of postpone and 1 or 2 agnostic on that. So I think we could postpone. You'll be back, Peter. You'll be able to lead the discussion on the 9th, right?
Yes, I will be back.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we'll table that. We won't need that tonight. And as I mentioned, the BZA will be very quick. And do we have any testimonies that we need to vote on at 7:20, or will we probably be condensing that item?
Well, we didn't receive any in advance, so I would say no.
Okay. Okay. No worries. All right, then. Okay. So now we'll move into the
Chair
Right.
Fennessy, I'd like to suggest one amendment and very brief consideration of a proposed resolution, which is super straightforward, which is why I ask everyone's indulgence to consider this. We are all struggling in our respective SMDs with streets that have not been plowed. We've seen a lot of conversation in the community about this. I have received scores of comments up to this very minute. I'm getting pinged as we speak from neighbors who are wondering when their streets are going to be plowed because they either can't get out, or if they're away, they can't get back home. Here's one very simple resolution that I would ask us to consider directing to the Department of Public Works. If you follow the snow plow tracker and you look at the streets that have not been plowed, and you look at other streets that have been plowed, perhaps, and I know this in my district, 2 times, and some 3 times, I would simply ask that we send a note to them to say that before other side streets, and here I'm not talking about major arteries, I'm not talking about Military Road or Connecticut Avenue, which receive, rightly so, priority from the city. I'm talking about side streets. In my district, Oliver Street, 27th Street, McKinley Place, McKinley Street, that they be plowed at least once before other streets are plowed twice or 3 times. It's simply rationalizing the scheme. The map is there for all to see. So anyway, I would just put that up for consideration here in ad hoc way, since it's something we're all living with.
Commissioner Goslin.
Yeah, I just say I think that's fine, just so we don't argue the whole issue as we fix the agenda. Let's get it on the agenda and then have the speechifying about it. We can.
Okay. I think we could put it in at 7:20. All right. So we have a change for 7:20. We'll do the the snow removal discussion and vote. And we will have a very quick BZA application. Otherwise, everything else stands. Okay. All right. Do we have a motion to adopt this agenda?
Yeah, I have a question. What resolution? So Bruce we're gonna develop the resolution in the meeting?
Right.
You don't have a draft, Bruce?
I just articulated, but I'll re-articulate my view. This is
No,
very.
that's okay. I don't need that. I just asked a simple question. Do you have a draft?
No.
Okay, that's all I asked.
So I'm not sure I want to vote on adding that to the agenda because I think it's gonna take a lot of time to develop this and I don't want to be on really late. So maybe we can consider for another meeting.
Well, is there a motion on the floor?
There was not a motion I asked if we had an emotion to adopt the agenda, and then we had a question. So there's not currently a motion to adopt the agenda.
I move we adopt the agenda. Would somebody like to second that?
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
All right. Do
Okay.
we have
All
discussion?
in favor? Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. So we'll adopt the agenda as is, and we can talk about it at 7:20 about the snow removal. Thank you so much. Okay. So now we have the adoption of the ANC minutes from the previous meeting.
Yeah, so that would be me. So I sent the draft minutes to everyone yesterday for the January 12th meeting. I trust that they were satisfactory. And I move that we adopt the minutes for the January 12th, 2026 ANC meeting with leave to make technical corrections.
Second.
Second. Okay.
I have a question about the minutes. Carol, you're using a paren as opposed to a bullet. It just seemed odd in the minutes, or a period behind that.
Okay. Is this important?
Yeah, I think it just looks odd.
Okay, I'll make
And it's not like, it's up to you, but it might look a little better if it's actually a bullet.
I think that would come under the category of technical correction.
Well, I'm not asking her to correct it. I'm making a comment.
Oh, okay. But I mean, if she wanted to change it, it's not a material. Yeah, it's a formatting thing. Yeah. I think, all right. So all in favor of adopting the minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-0. The minutes are adopted. Okay. All right. So next.
Laura?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have a question actually
Yes.
about the agenda.
Mhm.
Just the vote on the agenda wasn't clear to me. It was 5, what? 5-2 abstentions or what?
Oh, I am sorry. Commissioner Simmons, you voted not to adopt the agenda. Is that correct? And whose vote did I miss then? Did anyone else vote not to accept the agenda, or was it 6-1?
That's what I wanted. I was curious.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No,
All
that's
right.
okay. 6-1 then?
A 6-1 then. Okay. All right. So now we have our time for community input. These are for residents' announcements or comments that are not on the agenda. Each constituent normally gets a minute, but we may have some comments from MOKers, mayor constituent representatives, or council member representatives. If they are in the audience, please raise your hand and write to be called. Okay, I see Mr. Cal Simone.
Hi there. As I mentioned last meeting, this meeting I was going to talk about the WMATA budget hearings for the fiscal year 2027. They are coming up in the first week of February. There's an in-person meeting with an open house in Arlington let me get the time. Sorry. 5:30 for the open house, 6 o'clock. This is on Tuesday, the February the 3rd. And then they're following up with two online meetings the following 2 days. So there will be Wednesday the 4th at 12 and Thursday the 5th at 6. As before, I was requested to send out, which I did do, the information about the bus changes to all the commissioners. So I'll do the same with the budget hearing information.
Okay, thank you so much. And you are presenting this on behalf of your
Friends
group,
of the
correct?
bus transit, yes. Friends
Yes.
of bus transit, yes.
Okay, thank you, Cal, and we look forward to getting your information. All right, next we have Cheryl Barnes, Chevy Chase.
Hi, good evening. Thank you. Let's see. It looks like, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My camera's doing something funky, so I can't tell. Two things. The ANC 34G server appears to be down. You can't even get the website up to find the meeting agenda or sign on. And I had to get the link from somebody who's attending the meeting right now. So there are probably residents who are not able to attend this meeting. The thing that I wanted to bring up is that it appears, well, it's the fact that a number of commissioners are surveying their constituents and other constituents again about what they want to see at the Chevy Chase Commons. And some people have told me that on some of these surveys, there aren't options for them to choose, like none of the above. It's just presented as fait accompli. This is going to happen. This is the proposal. Take it or leave it, you know, whatever. And that seems like incredibly unfair to constituents, first of all, to not present them with all the options that might be available. And second of all, here we are faced again with another round of surveying constituents in 34G with really no gatekeeping or no accountability about who's taking these surveys. So every time surveys
Cheryl,
get run,
I'm sorry. Can you wrap it up? That would be great.
every time these surveys get run, there's no accountability and they're disregarded. And I think that 34G ANC needs to come up with a way to have an accountable survey for the whole community where people give their names and addresses for you all to be able to verify that they're actual residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate your comment. Each commissioner is, of course, able to poll their own constituents. And I would suggest that if folks have questions or concerns, that they reach out to that commissioner directly if they have questions about the feedback, because that would be important information for them to hear. Thank you so much. Mr. Khan?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I was, this is Ron. I was looking or trying to look at the ANC site in documents, looking for hearing testimony. The reason is, from my perspective, to compare my testimony and see if overlap or ideas in my testimony might be unique and worth sharing with the ANC testimony. Perhaps some future accommodation or process can be made in timely posting testimony along those lines. Right now, there's nothing there, I don't think.
Thank you so much. I would say to all residents, right, that while sometimes we have the chance to get in our testimonies early, sometimes life overtakes us, as with the storm, but any testimony from any constituent or any commissioner is welcome. You know, even if your experiences are different from someone else, your testimony matters, and it's really interesting if you take the time to contribute. The council listens. So thank you for stepping up and doing that. That's great. Ms. Laporta.
Yes, excuse me. I had a question about the playground at the Chevy Chase Commons. I know you, Laura, have been very active in trying to get the playground and things fixed at Lafayette. But this playground, the slide has been broken for months and months, and the covering is not there. It's in pieces, and it's really not safe. I wonder why nobody is concerned about talking to the Parks and Recreation about that playground. Are they just letting it deteriorate on
I'm,
purpose?
I'm going to defer to Commissioner Simmons on this one.
Hi, yes, the site is gonna be redeveloped. So, the boxes over the slide to protect people from not going on utilizing the slide. So at this moment, there will not be any repairs to the slide.
So they are just letting it deteriorate on purpose.
I won't say deteriorate on purpose. They've protected the slide because it's broken. They've protected the slide and putting a barrier around it to caution people from not using it. Also, we also had some of the siding that was falling off the building. We've had that remediated, but the slide is protected. And hopefully parents aren't letting their children climb on the wood. So
Thank you, Commissioner
I just
Simmons.
don't think it'll be fiscally responsible, if we're about to redo the playground to spend funds and then re-spend funds to break it down. I just think we've done the best that we can.
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. I hear from Andrea Rosen and Commissioner Nagy. Did you have a comment on this particular playground issue before I go to Andrea Rosen?
I do, thank you.
Okay.
It's going to be a while until till the situation is resolved, until a new community center is broken ground for. And in the meantime, I don't think that the answer from the city should be, well, we're not going to do anything about it because eventually we're going to put in a
Okay.
new playground. That's my opinion, and I want to get it out there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Andrea Rosen?
I was basically going to say the same thing with the additional information that the current proposal is indicated, breaking ground for the current proposal is indicated to be in 2028, 2 years away, and it seems like an interim repair would be fiscally responsible so that the playground equipment could be used. What seems fiscally unresponsible is to have basically a continuously deteriorating situation that no one can use.
Thank you. I'll let Councilmember Freeman know. I
Yeah,
think we've
great
heard.
idea.
Yeah, I'll let them know again. I think, thank you.
Thank
Can we
you.
move on?
And Ms. Laporta, did you have one more comment?
No, I just,
Okay.
I
If you
just-
could just lower your hand, then that would be
I
great.
did lower my hand.
Okay, all right, then we won't call on you there. Okay, so now we are moving in to the item that Commissioner Sherman had asked about, talking about the snow removal situation. And as I understand it, your concern is that some roads are getting plowed doubly while some have not been attacked at all. But I'll turn it over to Commissioner Sherman.
You just very concisely stated the circumstance. And I think I'm proposing that we call on the Department of Public Works to establish a system whereby all streets have one pass before some streets have two or even three passes.
I just want to play devil's advocate for a second. With the DDOT's roadmap, there are different road classifications, right? You've got locals and you've got collectors and minor arterials and major arterials. And I think having all the major roads done first would make sense. But I could certainly see that advocating for local roads to all have one pass before any other local roads got a second pass would make sense. Commissioner
That's
Gosselin.
exactly the idea.
Okay, Commissioner Gosselin.
I wonder, Bruce, if you might want to add one other thing, which is that by one pass, we mean they clear both travel lanes. On Chevy Chase Parkway beside my house, they they did one pass, absolutely one, and it is a one-way road now. And particularly with this kind of storm, clearing that other side is going to be very difficult because it got wet, the sleet, and then the rain, and then these temperatures are going to make it solid. And so I think we might want to just add what a pass means. It means clearing all the travel lanes. Does that seem like a reasonable, friendly amendment to your, I certainly will support this letter or resolution. I think that the side roads are getting short shift, and it's going to be particularly difficult to get them cleared now that it's frozen solid. So, but any interest in that, Bruce?
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense.
Commissioner Gore.
Yes. Is there any reason, Bruce, why the city would do that? Could there be streets that have been flagged because someone has a medical condition? What's the rationale? I want to know, like, I mean, this sounds great, and just talking about it, but I really want to know what the city policy is before we make a policy statement like this. And I'm not sure what the rush is on this. We don't have a document. And if you guys remember when I did the Ivy City resolution, and I know that resolution was a lot more voluminous. Yes, Cheryl. There was a lot of brouhaha about not presenting that resolution to the commissioners in advance. In this case, we don't even have a resolution. So what's the rush on this? And could this not be circulated in advance to commissioners so we can vote on it at next February's meeting, especially since we have a snowstorm coming up? So those two things.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you, Commissioner Gore. Commissioner Sherman.
So good points. And I would say the rush is simply to try to be responsive to the immediate circumstance and to show that our ANC is able to be responsive. I take your point about any specific circumstances on given streets that would prevent DPW from making any pass potentially, not just one. And the resolution, the language could easily couch that circumstance and represent that. I take also the points about major arteries and so forth and so on. This would pertain to local streets.
So I guess my question how would we as an ANC draft this? Because there's other things besides the pass. So like today I learned that in the tracker, some of my streets were listed as being completed when I had people in my neighborhood that actually saw snow plows going down those streets with the blade down, and that no pass had ever occurred. So to me, if we're going to do a resolution, it should be comprehensive and focus on everything that we've learned thus far, which is way beyond than just the passing of the streets. There's a number of issues. So again, I'm wondering, and I think we have been responsive. This entire ANC has been on the chat with the Moker's office this all day, literally all day. We've been fielding. Laura has been posting in social media. I know you guys gotten emails and calls because I've gotten them too. So I think we've been responsive and we have pushed back on the city. I just, caution us if we're going to do a resolution that we do something that's thorough and that we know the policy behind what we're doing.
I'd like to offer a comment here, and then I see Commissioner Goslin had a hand up as well. I was on a phone call regarding another item with some ANC business with Denise Wichter at the OANC, and she used to actually work with snow removal, which I did not know. And she was telling me that there are some routes that are big truck routes and small truck routes, and they can have a different, perhaps to Commissioner Gore's point, if we take a little time on this, we could make it as a series of questions to be answered and find out what their policy is and what their rationale is. And then that might identify some gaps that we would ask them to address. And it might also get, to the, like if there is a medical situation where, that road gets priority, if they could explain that, that might be helpful. They also may have roads that are former bus routes that are getting priority that aren't, bus routes anymore. That could be all kinds of things. Commissioner Goslin, did you still have a question?
I must say, this is one of these cases where it seems to me that it's perfectly legitimate to respond to the immediate situation and say that we'll commit ourselves to a more comprehensive look later. As people on this commission and in this community know, I don't often agree with Bruce, but this is a case where I do agree with him. Um, and so we can commit to a more comprehensive look and a set of questions, but we've got people on streets that are not passable right now, and it's great if you can get to one of the arteries. I mean, Military Road is down to pavement, but it does seem to me that getting your car out and onto the side street and up to the major artery is a huge challenge for a lot of our residents.
Thank you, Commissioner Goslin. Commissioner Gore, you're dinging, I think. Is that a hand up or somehow it's making a
No,
little noise?
that was my email chiming.
Oh,
But, I mean,
I thought,
but since you called on me, I'm not
Okay.
saying that, I am going to go back to process because everybody seems to skip over the advance notification. If we're gonna be consistent as an ANC, let's be consistent. Let's not chastise commissioners for doing something that another commissioner is doing. And secondly, I go back to my point. We don't even know the city policy on this. I mean, it's a great thing. We should do it, but I think we should do it thoroughly. And I think we should know what we're talking about when we send something like this to the city. And it's a very important question to know, why would one street not be done versus another? And if there's some policy implication in that. I think that's just wise for the ANC and smart for our constituents.
If the commissioners wish to postpone this until the next meeting, I can certainly live with that. I understand Commissioner Gore's concerns. Just let me give you one little anecdote, however. Like all of you, I have been interacting with DPW and with the city, with the mayor's office since Thursday on this. And I have laid out very specifically 3 streets in my single member district that are routinely overlooked. In every snowstorm since I've been a commissioner, they've been overlooked. And one of those is Unicorn Lane, which is the Chatsworth development off of Oregon Avenue, where there are 80 townhomes. 200 to 250 people live in that community. And every single snowstorm, including today, DPW overlooks them, even though I went way out ahead of this snowstorm and asked them specifically not to do that again. So I feel very passionately about this, that we need to send a message. We can couch it however we need to, respecting city regulations and so forth. But I think we need to send the message. It's something that, again, we all share.
well, sorry. Let me interject and then I'll call on you, Commissioner Gore. What about this? What if we each, in the short term, each contact DPW, let them know of streets that are impassable and ask that they prioritize them ASAP, and come with a list of questions and ask DPW if they could come, say, to our February 23rd meeting and answer answer our questions for us and speak to us then. That was my thought. Commissioner Gore?
Yeah, I like that idea. I would move it up a little bit because I do think Bruce is right. We should strike when we're hot. And then to add to your point, Bruce, why I really would like a chance to work on this as a commission as opposed to try to noodle it tonight is I have the same thing. I had multiple people from Aberfoyle call me, about that road. I have the same thing with certain roads just seemingly to get bypassed. And I'm sure all of us have that. And I think we all need that that actual factual data that we've observed ourselves and our commission residents have observed. That's just going to make a stronger resolution. And I can't put that together for you tonight. And I think that's something that we can noodle through as a commission for once and try to work on a joint resolution to make it as strong as possible. So I agree with, Chair Fennessy in terms of a potential path forward. But I would just say again that, we kind of stick to our precedent and how we want these things done and do them as thoroughly as possible.
And that doesn't preclude us from reaching out to the Mokers and to DPW and alerting them to the streets. Commissioner Nagy.
Yeah, so in the chat, there are comments pro and con about this. One comment is the snow situation is present. It makes sense to make a resolution that is timely. It could be amended if future information is found in discovery. Another, Robert Gordon comments, I'm sorry, that was Claudia Russell. And Robert Gordon comments, the ANC should simply prepare a letter to the appropriate agency to request that it promptly attend to the streets in Chevy Chase. Claudia, case in point, medical emergencies cannot be predicted. Brian Heilman, it's not fair to any Ward 4 students that are going to need to walk to the bus when school resumes, or anyone who needs to get to a job via bus. And so, different opinions, sort of two sides of the issue. And if I could put in my 2 cents as a commissioner, I'd like to see us write a letter to DPW in the meantime, asking them to get to our streets in Chevy Chase, including Ward 4. And then we can, as Commissioner Gore says, noodle through a resolution that's more comprehensive. But I don't see why we can't write a letter right now and say, our streets haven't really been attended to, and can you please do that resolution forthcoming?
Any thoughts on that? On a letter?
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea, to send an immediate letter saying, here's what we observed. We need immediate relief, and that a resolution from the commission will be forthcoming.
I'm happy to write that letter tomorrow and send it around to everyone. Again, the one thing that I would want to focus on, so I'll foreshadow this, is that there is a tracking system. There is a way for all of us to look at the streets that have been addressed, including, of course, DPW can look at that. So it just is on these local streets, kind of remains a mystery as to why clusters of streets are not addressed when others are. But in any event, I'm happy to write that letter and send it around to everyone for your edits.
But one thing that I would add, and I think Commissioner Gore saw this in her SMD as well, I got comments from people who said, hey, my street is marked as blue, and that they hadn't seen a plow in 24 hours. So the tracking wasn't actually accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll send it around. Everyone can offer edits and comments.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Commissioner Sherman, and thank you, everybody. And thank you for taking care of all of our people. So now we have a website update. Commissioner Sherman?
Yeah, Commissioners Fennessy, Nagy, and I met with the website contractor, Monsakodan, who has worked on revamping the ANC website for a considerable period of time. Met with her on January 20th. As commissioners know, she completed the work on the contract in July of last year, work that had started the previous July. So from July 2024 to July 2025. And when she completed the work in July, she submitted a final invoice for $3,400, which all of you have seen. We discussed this with her. We discussed other matters with her, but we expressed 2 strong wishes. One, to move forward and launch the beta website that she has produced, and 2, to resolve the payment issues. And so on the invoice that she submitted, that was payment 3 of 3 payments, consistent with the contract that the ANC had entered into with her. I want to move that we pay that invoice. It's for $3,400, and this will resolve the work that she did under the contract. At the same time, she mentioned to us that there are, since she has completed the work, hosting fees that she has been paying to keep up our current website and the new beta site. And so we are taking a look at those in light of other work that that we believe we need to do. But for now, we want to reconcile those charges with what has already been covered in the invoice for 3,400. So to be clear, I'm moving that we approve this invoice, that we resolve this payment that is long overdue to the contractor for $3,400. And so I'm making that motion. I'm looking for a second on it.
I'll second that.
I just want to make sure the wording of the motion is going to work for the quarterly financial report. Can you, because the wording that I think they're going to want us to have is that in the contract, which was authorized in the June 12th, 2024 minutes. And I'm not sure I heard you say that. Can you repeat that motion or?
Well, yeah. So to add that the contract that was approved, as you just said, of the June 12th, 2024 minutes, and the contract that went into effect in July of 2024, it is payment against that invoice and for work done under that contract. Is there other language, Chair Fennessy, that we need to?
Yeah, I'm looking from what Denise said, pay the eccentric invoice as a payment due under the January 2025 contract, which was authorized in the June 12th, 2024 minutes. That is the language that squares it all away. We went through the minutes and she looked at the invoice and that's what where she found that it all worked, where the approval was. Commissioner Simmons.
Yes, my question was, I just wanted more clarity about what OANC has said about this transaction since it carried forwards, since this contract and additional charges incurred apply over multiple fiscal years. So I'm just wondering, what has OANC said in resolving this?
Yeah.
And one more thing. I think when I did the budget last in Q1, I don't know if the budget included those additional charges. So we got to be cognizant of making sure the budget has the money for these additional charges.
Okay, thank you. I'll read my notes. Excuse me just a minute here. This is from what Denise, we talked and then she typed it up for me so I'd have it clear. To pay the eccentric notice as a payment due under the January 2025 contract, which is authorized in the June 12th, 2024 minutes. Our June 12th, 2024 minutes reflect an approval to develop a new website by a vote of 7-0. The citation from the minute says at hour 1, minute 7, 23 seconds, discussion of ANC website. Commissioner Gosselin proposes hiring Mon Sakdala, and I hope I didn't botch that too much, to upgrade ANC's WordPress website and migrate all existing content to new site. Sakdalan provides brief report. New site will be more user-friendly, easier to access. And the proposal was approved 7-0. In July 2024, the first payment was made, $3,300. Second was filed with the second quarter 2025 QFR. The website developer has delivered the beta site, and we just simply need to authorize the third payment. She said to help the OANC with, to help Dawn, I'm sorry, Dickerson, this is a financial person in the OANC office for those who may not know her name, with the quarterly financial reports. The treasurer can file the June 2024 minutes and the contract as documents with the expense. And we ask that today's minutes reflect that the motion is made to pay the eccentric invoice as a payment due under the January 2025 contract, which was authorized in the June 12th, 2024 minutes. So that's for the finishing up the contract. As for the ongoing charges, I actually spent some time talking with Camp Bays of the Office of the OANC, about some prototype websites that the Office of ANC is designing and actually is getting ready to make deliverable soon. These were not on the radar in 2024 when the ANC prudently and responsibly authorized spending money to support operations. The old WordPress website was starting to go, and as we saw tonight with so many people having trouble logging in, it really is limping along. And OANC didn't have a deliverable last year, but they now have a possibility of a website that would be provided at no cost to us with training and development, shared calendaring. They would do security patches, allow customization. We wouldn't have to pay for the URL, the GoDaddy, no worry about expiration. So it might be something that we want to have Kent come and present to us, and then at such time as we can make an informed decision if this, future site, if we want to use the private site, which is we would have some ongoing maintenance and storage cost, or if we wanted to use the OANC site, which would be essentially free. When we make that decision, then we reconcile all the hosting charges at that time, rather than trying to do it now and then maybe we have 3 more months or 2 more months before we figure it out. So that was their recommendation for that, but the fiscal year was not an issue there. Commissioner Simmons, do you have your hand raised?
Yes. So just so I'm clear, there's gonna be a motion on the floor to pay for the website, have the website, and then go back to OANC and see if they will give us the new website that they're giving all other ANCs for free?
No. The motion is to pay the third and final invoice of the contract from the 2024. This is for work that has already occurred.
Right. And then you were just discussing about having Kent come in and talk to us about a website. They'll do the patching. So you're suggesting that we will then consider the website that OANC is doing for all ANCs, correct?
I think it's worth considering. I think, it looks, he showed me a few kind of mock-ups and some and talked about the pros and cons a little bit. And I think it's worth considering. I don't know, we'd have to discuss it as a group, and I'm not prepared to make a recommendation, but I wouldn't write it off. I would definitely consider it, especially since it's low cost. Peter?
Yeah, I'm concerned we're conflating two things. Well, we need to vote on paying the final bill. These remarks about considering another whole direction to go in seem separate. To the extent there's a link at all between them, it's paying the carrying charges for now. And I just want to understand this one thing about the carrying charges. So are we leaving Mon paying those bills? Are we leaving the contractor paying those monthly fees to carry the 2 sites, or are we taking those, or have we already taken? I see Commissioner Gore shaking her head. Have we already taken them on?
That was my question as well. And I don't know. I know I told Bruce that I was going to send him that invoice, but when we say the final invoice, that's not correct. We have to pay her carrying charges. So I'll make sure that that invoice gets over to you, Bruce. But since she sent that invoice, she's still carrying charges probably.
So those are 2 separate financial transactions.
I want to make sure that the commission is clear that this is not our final payment to Mon.
Correct.
We'll have another.
The carrying charges are roughly $15 a month. So it's not on the order of magnitude of the payment we need to authorize tonight.
So
No,
Yeah.
we have to, we probably have enough in our budget to do that. I mean, I think that invoice was like $150, $200. But the issue is, and hopefully, and Bruce, what has OANC, have you talked to Denise about that? Because she was giving us some specific information and she had some concerns about this.
Commissioner Fennessy just reviewed the conversation that she had with OANC. I reached out to OANC, and Chair Fennessy spoke to Denise, as she's just represented, authorizing that we proceed with the $3,400 payment. One thing I want to be clear about for the commissioners.
That's not what I'm talking about. And we're actually on two separate things, so never mind. I'm not talking about the 3,400. I'm talking about the carrying charges.
Okay, ma'am.
Don't worry about answering that because this is a separate conversation.
Yeah, let's authorize, if we can, do the motion on the 3,400. And with that motion, pay it, and then I'll take questions if we have a question about the going forward, if we want to talk about that for a moment. But I'm concerned that we won't have enough time for the civic core update. So, Commissioner Sherman, do you want to repeat your motion, or do you want me to recap it?
Go ahead and recap it since you've got the language in front of you that Denise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is from Denise. So we should be good to pay the eccentric invoice as a payment due under the January 2025 contract, which was authorized in the June 12th, 2024 minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-0. The motion passes. Thank you so much. All right, and then I would recommend that we reach out to Kent Bays to see if he might be available to present to us what he's got. I think given the status of our website and the timing of when their deliverables are, we might be able to get it soon, because he indicated that websites that were kind of in the hospice situation might get priority, and I think ours is kind of there. Commissioner Grunwald. You're muted. Commissioner Grunwald.
you're still muted.
Okay, third time.
Here you are.
I think my hand was up because I was voting, so sorry.
Okay, no question. Commissioner Sherman.
Yeah, just so the commissioners understand, the work that the contractor's done on the new website would form the basis of the website that would be hosted potentially, and this is subject to what Chair Fennessy is discussing, a conversation with the OANC about hosting that site, so that, and any improvements that might be made after that. But the work that the commission has paid for would, of course, be honored and would not be for naught. That would be the design for the website that would then be hosted at the OANC site.
Yeah, it would really inform the new design. Commissioner Gosselin.
I just want to add one thing to this, and again, we need to move on to other issues, but in addition to the work that we've done on the beta site, the work that Mon has done being ported over, all of us are frustrated with the current site, the public-facing site. I do hope that we do not lose, that as a result of that frustration, we do not say we're going to dump all the historical documents that are on that lousy site that we have now. I mean, they're not well organized, but we have records going back to probably about 2015, and if you get the hang of the Clujish site that we have now, you can do a pretty good history of how issues develop, and that's going to be helpful in the future. So I do hope we don't throw out the old records in the rush to get a site that works much better than the one we have. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I understood Mr. Bass correctly this afternoon, the OCTO, the Chief Technology Officer for DC, would be able to migrate those so we wouldn't have to download and upload and download and upload. They could do it at a fell swoop at no charge. So that could be an interesting possibility. Commissioner Nagy?
Since my name is on the agenda, I thought I might add something here. And that was what I was going to add. There is absolutely no desire to lose all the historical documents. There's, on the contrary, a strong desire to keep them.
So that would be an important question to ask if we can get Mr. Bass to come.
We will definitely do that.
Okay, thank you. Cal?
So now that I'm learning that this is the final payment, and I tried to get this in before you all voted, this question in, have you guys beta tested it? I would love to be a beta tester. I am notorious for finding bugs and holes and things like that in technology. So what's the status of that? Because if you're paying, and what's the contractor's obligation to fix things that you guys find, or that we find?
We haven't beta tested it yet, but the working condition of the site is part of her obligation as a deliverable. So if we find it, then she would have to fix it. All right. I think then we are okay to move on to our next item, and we're a little bit late, but not too much. Commissioner Simmons, Civic Corps update.
Yes, thank you. So if you haven't heard already, I'm excited to announce that the mayor and the deputy mayor for Planet Economic Development has announced Rift Valley Chevy Chase LLC to redevelop our Civic Corps site. So I'm excited about this project for a couple of reasons. The first is that it resides in my single member district, but secondly, because this project will provide our community as well as the residents of Washington, D.C. with an upgraded library, community center, double the outdoor space than we have now, and housing. Some things I wanted to point out to everyone in regards to the Civic Corps site. So DC Public Library had a couple of design guidelines. Their guidelines for the library was set at 2,300 square feet for the library. The current redevelopment plan has 23,500 square feet. So that's an increase of 500 square feet than what was initially required by DC Public Library. Secondly, DPR design guidelines for the community center was set for 20,000 square feet, and then the redevelopment plan has outlined 21,600. So that's an increase of 1,600 square feet of their spatial goals. Then we'll have an outdoor amenities double than what we currently have. Some examples from the renderings was a play park, a public plaza, flexible sports event and courts. And for all of those who have reached out inquiring if we'll have a pickleball court, we will have a pickleball court in the new location, in the new Civic Corps site. And then we'll have an outdoor classroom and amphitheater. So I think that would be very useful when we have our Chevy Chase events and other outdoor events and community gathering. And then lastly, we're still going to have the native plant garden. Most importantly, this project includes housing. It'll include 177 unit of housing, 54 affordable unit housings, along with 123 market rate units. Housing unit size will range from studio, but most importantly, 3-bedroom homes. So I have about 5 apartments in my single member district, and none of them have 3 bedrooms. So this development will be the first to offer 3 bedrooms along Connecticut Avenue from the Circle down to at least Jennifer. I don't know past Jennifer Street. There will also be about 8,000 square feet for ground floor community serving retail. Our goal here, and hopefully everyone in the community goal, is that this retail space will be focused more for small businesses versus big box. The main change from the disposition hearing proposal to what the current proposal was presented was that we had 1/3 at the lower AMI, we had 1/3 at the higher AMI, and then 1/3 market rate housing. So the current housing structure that has been presented by the mayor, DMPED, is 30% at the lower AMI and then 70% at market rate. So then what are the next steps since we have this project as after it's been awarded to Rift Valley? So the next step is for DMPED to prepare a package to be sent to the council, and the council will conduct their own disposition and surplus hearing. DMPED has already conducted theirs. And then from that, then it'll be the council to vote on the disposition and the surplusing. So in the meantime, as the single member district of where this project resides, my goal is to make sure that this project has positive and productive engagement with DMPED and all stakeholders, including the developers, DC Public Library, and DPR. One of the things that we're working on is having a community meeting that's specifically dedicated to the community and all our stakeholders, DMPED, developers, DPR, and DC Public Library. So what I would ask for the community is to start thinking about some of the things and questions that you may have for DMPED. Also start thinking about some of the things that you would like to see in our community spaces. I know that we've already had requests to make sure that we continue with the ballet program and the new community center and fencing. I'll put in the chat the design guidelines from DPR, but in their previous design guidelines, they mentioned in there of a gym. So just kind of reviewing the design guidelines from the library and the community center, and then also thinking about other things that may be important that you would like to see. And I think it's important to think about everything. I know we won't be able to get everything, but if we talk to DMPED and the developers and just put it out there, like shoot for the moon and you land on the stars, you land somewhere beautiful anyway. So that's the only update I have. I think Commissioner Fennessy, you had an update you wanted to provide.
I was just going to wrap up if there was anything that you didn't have time to get to, but I think that was really comprehensive. I think one of the things that we need to just tweak as a commission or ask is when we have the community meeting, one of the options I think would be to use the ANC, either do a special meeting or have it on the 9th. And I've heard preferences for special, and I've heard preferences for a meeting on the 9th, but I haven't, I guess, had a clear majority. Would it be possible just to get a show of hands just for scheduling with DMPED? How many people would be interested on the 9th, commissioners? Would be our next ANC meeting and make it basically focused on that issue. Versus, so one for two for the 9th.
I actually have a question about that when you have time.
Okay. Go ahead, ask your question.
So we're going to have on the 9th some other significant business. I'm not sure we'll be able to dedicate all of the time of the meeting to the Civic Corps. I'd be in favor of a special meeting.
Okay, thank you. And Commissioner Simmons?
Oh, my hand was up for the 9th. I think the 9th might be easier since the community already knows our scheduled meeting. That's why earlier I brought up considering doing Go Vocal Now versus the 9th.
Thank you. Commissioner Gore?
Yeah, I guess I definitely have a project in my SMD that's got to go on the 9th because I think the
food project?
Yeah, I think it's coming up on the 12th. So my thing again, sometimes as a commission, I mean, we all know this is an extremely important issue to everybody. We got a 50-50 split in a community. We're going to have a lot of questions for DMPED and the development team if they do come. I could only imagine that the community would too. I don't see any other way to make this work for everybody in terms of access outside of a special meeting, especially if we got other things on the agenda. And it seems like that we have some things that are pressing deadlines, like Go Vocal. We got to do it this upcoming, next meeting. Okay. So I would vote in favor of a special meeting.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Nagy?
I agree with Commissioner Gore. I think we should have a special meeting. The only thing I disagree with her about is the 50-50 split. It's not quite 50-50. It's a little more against than it is for.
Okay.
But let's have that special meeting by all means, please.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Nagy. So if I know that okay. Do you want me to look with DEMPED? They had asked, we had talked tentatively. We could do it soon, try to do it next week, but I think for 2 weeks' notice, we would be better off having it after the 9th. Do you want to try to do it the week of the we get into President's Day, or do you want to try to do it the same week of the 9th? That's 2 meetings in a week, but that would be sooner rather than later, but also give us ample time to notify, to Commissioner Simmons' point, that it's not the normal date. Commissioner Gosselin?
Yeah, I'd just say, please don't rush this. I have a family obligation that's going to take me most of next week. I really need to be here for this event. And so please don't schedule it before the 9th. And I think we have to schedule it after the 9th. So I ask.
Thank you. Thank you. And hope things go well for you. Commissioner Grunwald?
Yeah, when are we meeting with DEMPED? DEMPED.
That's the question. If we wanted to do it at our next agenda item, or if we
Right.
wanted to do it.
So are we meeting with DEMPED first and then having our special meeting?
No, the DEMPED would be the meeting.
Would be
The
the
meeting
special
would
meeting.
be basically
combined.
a solely dedicated meeting
Okay.
solely to the Civic Corps to
Okay,
hear from the players themselves. You know,
okay.
Commissioner
And
Simmons did a great job wrapping it up, but obviously people want to have more details, right?
with the entire community invited, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner, Chair Fennessy, can I suggest you go to DEMPED, have them work out dates with the
Okay.
public library developers, and then come back to us and we announce the meeting.
Okay.
Then,
Happy to do that. Can I offer, let me just make sure if I offer a bunch of dates that if anybody has, can I offer the 10th, 11th, and 12th? Any of those no-goes?
No, go for it.
Okay. Maybe with one of those, I mean, it might be a back-to-back, Monday, Tuesday, but that way that would give us time to have the food council issue for food policy council for Commissioner Gore. We could also have any testimonies that we want to do. We could get them in time and also go vocal. So thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Simmons, for that thorough and succinct update. Very to the point. I love it. All right. Commission business. I'm sorry. I don't see any questions from the chat. Commissioner Nagy, do you see anything?
There were 3 comments saying that they would like a special meeting. There is a question, but I think maybe we could put this aside for the moment from Andrea Rosen. But maybe not. Are there renderings? This was, I believe, to Commissioner Simmons, that delineate the public outdoor space to show different functions like pickleball court with dimensions. Can you display them or direct us to them, Commissioner Simmons?
yes, I'll put the renderings in the chat.
Thank you. Commissioner Gosselin?
I was just going to answer that question, but Commissioner Simmons did.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Are there any other concerns at this moment from the community? Can't speak right now. Or we defer those until the special meeting?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then we have commission business. We have Commissioner Sherman. Do you have a treasurer's report for us?
I do, and I sent the treasurer's report around everyone. I believe it was on Friday to take a look at, along with the FY26 Q1 quarterly financial report. Those are both available for you to have had a look at. If you have any comments, have any questions. As I understand these matters, the January report doesn't actually need to have a vote on it, but the QFR, of course, does need to have a vote because we submit that. So any questions? Hearing no questions, I move that we approve the FY26 Q1 quarterly financial report. Do I have a second? I have a second. All right. You can call the votes if you'd like, Chair Fennessy.
All right. Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Raise hand.
Aye.
Okay. It looks like 7-0 in favor of the quarterly financial report number 1 for 2026. All right. And I just want to thank Commissioner Sherman and also belated thanks to Commissioner Simmons. The task of a treasurer, this an extra set of obligations, not just keeping track of day-to-day expenses, but also these quarterly financial reports. It's like having to do your taxes 4 times a year. So really appreciate their stepping up and doing that.
May I also offer commendation for Commissioner Simmons because she had uploaded all of the requisite documents for the QFR. So it was a fairly straightforward matter of issuing the report, which I discussed with Don Dickerson in an ongoing tutorial that they're providing from the OANC to yours truly about how to handle these treasurer things. So thank you, Commissioner Simmons.
Thank you, is what I do.
I just want to, Commissioner Fennessy, I just want to, we didn't have time, or I didn't have time to thank Commissioner Simmons, who served under me as treasurer. And I think we're all getting to see the type of work that goes into the roles of the commission besides just being a sitting commissioner. So I want to take the time to extend my gratitude to Commissioner Simmons, who was an outstanding treasurer, very communicative with me, handled business appropriately. She is professional beyond everything, and worked hard to make sure that everything was done on time and done right. And she has the treasurer, now Bruce, the treasurer has the most duties that tie to DC code. So it's not that you can do things your way. You have to do things a certain way according to DC law. So thank you, Commissioner Simmons, for serving out as treasurer, and good luck, Commissioner Sherman.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. We have some possible items for February 9th. Some things that had been floated before were Pepco bills, Civic Corps Food Policy Council. I'm going to strike Civic Corps off, not because it's not important, but because it looks like we're going to try to get the special meeting. Commissioner Gosselin.
And add Go Vocal. And I don't know where we are in this process, but if somebody can hit the website enough that it works, limps us through the night, I'd love to have these documents up that I sent around a week ago to facilitate that discussion.
Yeah, it's too bad it's not like a snack machine where you can like whack it a couple of times to get it working again, right? Commissioner Sherman?
I will do that, Commissioner Gosselin. As I mentioned earlier, we'll one way or another, we'll get the documents up. And to anticipate on February 9th, we're going to likely have or possibly have something I've already briefed the commission on several times, which is a draft or maybe a signed final community service agreement between Murray School and the Friends of the Field group. That hopefully we will have that in advance so that all commissioners can see it, formulate questions. But we would want to have Murray and Friends of the Field come to the ANC and present that agreement, and where it obligates or involves the ANC. There's then going to be subsequently a hearing before the BZA, which, as all of you know, we, the ANC, is also party to, where we would want to, in advance, issue a resolution, I believe, that if possible in support of this agreement, but we have to see the agreement first. But anyway, on the 9th, we'll need to take all that up.
So I just want to make sure, are you presenting the Murray, or are they going to come as well?
They would come. So what I'm saying is they would submit, one would hope, that agreement to us in advance, sharing that, of course, across the commission with the community. And then they would come and speak to it on February 9th. And they would be looking, I would assume, subject to further conversations with them, support from the ANC for that agreement to go to the BZA then in support of Murray's application to have the fields as built be approved.
Okay. And was your snow removal resolution, did we also want to look at that? Would that be something you want to consider for February 9th or the 23rd?
Well, if we have time, certainly on February 9th, I would try to streamline things from here on. The letter first, which I mentioned I would write, and then a resolution working that through all the commissioners so that everyone would see that and offer comments on it, the community as well. And perhaps that would be then just a short consideration and vote.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, I think if you can get the resolution out to us by when we have the draft agenda go out by the 2nd, then I
Right.
think we can put it on. If it's not by the 2nd, then I think we'll punt it to the 23rd.
Okay.
If that sounds all right. And Commissioner Gore, Food Policy Council still on?
I will contact them. I wasn't able to make their open house, but I do want to invite them to speak. So I'll check on that. And the other thing I'm checking on for the community is to see if I can work on getting us a ranked choice voting presentation.
Yes.
One of the things that I'm going back and forth with Board of Election right now is they had initially offered to do a presentation in person with the equipment. And then they kind of reneged on that and said they just wanted to do 15 minutes. So I'm working with them to see if I can get them to come out and do an in-person presentation. I saw a presentation with the Democratic Party, and there was a board of election official that was present, and it was really good. There's some things I don't think maybe the community is aware of, like your ballot can be tossed under a certain circumstance. So I don't think 15 minutes is going to do it. And they do have the equipment where they are going around to communities and actually doing the presentation with the equipment and the ballot. So I just think that would be great for us to have. So I'm working on that.
Okay. That may be something. I'm just thinking if we could get hybrid, that might be interesting. But okay, keep us posted. I realized that as we went from the ANC website to the website update to the Civic Core update, I did not ask for a motion from the ANC for a vote about my BZA application, and I do need to take a minute to do that. We have a property at 6008 34th Place. It's this little cul-de-sac off of Rittenhouse. It was basically a little cul-de-sac of almost stone cottages, little one story with a upstairs dormer kind of setup. And we have a huge house there from the same developer that did the Twin Towers in Commissioner Sherman's district. The applicant had a hearing scheduled for Wednesday for a special exception. He has asked to postpone, and the neighbors have all agreed and also asked to postpone. So I just need a vote from the ANC that we support both the applicant and the neighbor's position, and we agree to the postponement of the BZA case. So does anyone have any questions before I just call for a vote? Okay, I guess I'm super clear. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna ask for a motion that the ANC support the applicant's request for a special exception for BZA case 21399, as it is supported by the request for postponement is also supported by neighbors. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 7-0. Thank you so much. We will have in April, there's another hearing coming up for another BZA case, but I'll send you info on that early. Okay, now it's time for commissioner reports. I think we hit everything. I'll start with Commissioner Sherman.
Actually, excuse me, sorry.
Sorry.
I do have something I'd like to add to, I don't know whether it's the next agenda or the following one, but the folks who are providing social services and outreach at some of the buildings on Connecticut Avenue, including one in my SMD, but also one in Peters, in fact. I'd like to have them come and speak to us about the kinds of services that they can provide and what they can do for the community living in apartments.
Do you have an idea of the time frame? How long it would?
They
how
have to
long it-
clear it, they have to clear it, sorry, excuse me. They have to clear it with their folks, but I'm thinking that the 23rd, the next meeting after the 9th, so what would that be, the 23rd?
Mhm. Do you have an idea of the length of the presentation?
I'm thinking a half an hour at most.
If you could see if they could maybe get it a little shorter, it just seems like it's getting, a little packed, maybe aim for 20. That might make it a little
Yeah.
easier. Yeah.
Sure.
And then if there are questions, I think that gives room for questions. That'd be awesome.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we're looking at the 23rd then.
Okay.
Yes? Okay.
I'll pencil it in and hopefully we won't have too many more snowstorms and other fun events. All right, Commissioner Sherman.
Yes, I'd like to recognize 9 teens, young folks who in my SMD over the last 48 hours have done incredible work in helping neighbors shovel snow. I'll just mention their names so that they're officially on the record. Zach Bloom, Kevin Birdnick, Cole Childress, Jack Formousas, Braden and Liam Kilroy, Mitchell Lilly, Caden Lilly, and Luca Neskovich. I would also commend their parents who've been incredibly helpful. And in some instances, the parents have joined them in working with neighbors. And they have serviced dozens of homes in my single member district. They've been extraordinarily helpful. And I would say they've done this by stepping up. They have shoveled for modest fees, which means that they've earned some money. And they've been able to see their efforts remunerated, which I think is a great thing. And today, all of you who are out shoveling know that with the freeze that happened overnight, you actually had to chip away the ice to get it off the sidewalk. So they did unbelievable work today. And I've gotten reports, glowing, very positive reports from scores of neighbors about their service. I wanted to commend them.
That's wonderful news. Thank you so much. Commissioner Goslin.
Yeah, I just want to say that on Sunday, February 1st, Roger Reith at 3713 Military Road is turning 101, and the mayor is issuing a proclamation in recognition of this accomplishment, which is pretty amazing.
So we still got some of that greatest generation here. That's awesome. Commissioner Simmons.
Yes, I would just like to let the community know we still have a call for new members for our Racial and Social Equity Committee for the ANC that goes until February 10th.
Thank you, Commissioner Simmons. Anyone else? Okay, well, I know we've all been working hard on the chat with DPW and shoveling, and we're probably all tired, but I really appreciate everyone's turning out tonight. And we will look forward to scheduling the meeting with DIMPED. We'll look forward to hearing about Go Vocal, possibly hearing from the website update from Kent Bay. So thank you all very much. Stay safe. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Nagy. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. I sort of got missed in the commissioner go-rounds. I know this doesn't apply to many people, but it does apply to some and to young people if you know them. The DC Health Link time is running out. The open enrollment ends July 31st. So if you know someone who needs to sign up for healthcare, they need to do it sooner rather than later. I will put the link in the chat, but since we're about to break, let me just tell you, just Google DC Health Link, and that way people can get to it. And it's really important for people to be able to have access to healthcare. So if you know someone where you are or don't know someone who doesn't have access to healthcare, please let everybody know. Thank you.
I can hold it open while you get that link in the chat, Commissioner.
Okay,
Nagy.
thanks.
Thank
I
you.
can do that. Yep.
Okay. Commissioner Goslin.
Yeah, and just while we were meeting, I see that DPW just sent out an alert saying there'll be no trash recycling pickup tomorrow. So.
Yes, I think we could have predicted that, but it's nice to get the real word, right? Okay. All righty. Well, thank everyone so much. Thank you for your service and thank you for coming. If it makes a community. Great. Really great to see all the turnout. And as much as sometimes we miss being able to see each other in person, having these virtual meetings on a day like today is really a blessing. Yes. So thank you. Oh, Commissioner Goslin, one more. Nothing? We're good? All right. I'm declaring the meeting adjourned, but I'm going to leave it open for a little bit so Commissioner Nagy can put the link to the chat if anyone needs to get that. And then, but feel free to log off if you are
All done.
not waiting for that link.
It's already in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All righty. Then I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
You.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.